So far, we've written very simple programs, just outputting string literals to the console. So system.out object does have a few more methods that we can invoke, the print and the printf. We're going to go ahead and discuss those further. We're also going to discuss escape sequences. We could use escape sequences inside of string literals to create a new line or to use special characters. So what we're going to talk about now is the string literal, the print line, the print method, string concatenation, escape sequences, and the printf method. Okay, so whenever you output information, we use what we call a string literal. A string literal is indicated by using double quotes around text. So to give you some examples here, every character string is what Java considers to be an object defined by the string class. So every string literal represents a string object. We'll talk about objects and we'll talk about primitive data, but just keep in mind that a string is an object. So the way the print line method works, it's actually a method on this object right here, system out. System out represents the output console. Back in chapter 1, when we talked about the Lincoln program, we invoked the method print line. To print multiple lines to the output console, we can use multiple print line methods. To print shapes with characters, we use space and position characters within the character string. Avoid using the tab to position characters. So I'm going to demonstrate this concept by making a program that prints shapes using multiple print line statements. So I've created a Java file named box.java. So up top, what I'm going to do is put my code comment with my name, the date, and students should also put their class number and the assignment number and a description of what the assignment actually does. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I created my code comment up top. Now what I need to do is create my class header. My class name should match the name of my file exactly. My file is named box. So when I make this class, I'm going to name it box. Every Java program needs a main method, so I'm going to make my main method header. So now the best thing to do is to compile to verify that we didn't make any mistakes. This program does compile. Now what I want to do is invoke the printline method on the system.out object. I'm going to do this multiple times in order to create a shape on the screen. The shape that I first want to do is a box. So I'm going to use some vertical lines and horizontal lines to do that. And all these lines are going to go inside of a string literal, and you just have to space them out correctly. Now it's important not to use tabs, because tabs is going to ruin your spacing. I'm going to do this using tabs, and you can see what I'm talking about. I created this box using multiple print line methods and string literals. Now inside of these string literals, I'm using spaces. But there are two lines where I'm using tabs. And let's see what this looks like. I'm going to test this using command prompt first, and then I'm going to show you the results in Notepad++'s console. So to open up command prompt, I'm going to go to File, Open Containing Folder, in CMD, then compile and run my program. As you can see the output, you can see the lines where I use tabs and the lines where I use spaces. Now this looks almost identical to what I have inside of my string literal, except for the fact that there's two lines where I have these tabs and I've ruined my spacing. So let me fix that. Now I fixed my tabs. I'm going to go ahead and open command prompt and compile and run this program. And here's the output for my box. It looks exactly how I put it into my string literal, but let's see what it looks like in Notepad++. So Notepad++, I'm going to compile and run this program, and you can see how this output looks. Now the reason this happened is because in the console for Notepad++, it doesn't allow for the same width for the space character as it does for the other characters. This will cause an ASCII picture to look misaligned, so whenever you have any program where you're outputting a shape, it's always best to test it in command prompt. I want to make a diamond, but also keep my box. The way that I can do this is just add more print line methods. So I made my diamond shape. It looks like a diamond inside of my string literal, so it should look like a diamond in my command prompt. So let's test this. And there's the output of my diamond. But as you can tell, I don't have any space between these two. So I want to create some space between these two. So the way I can create some vertical space is just use an empty printline method. So I use two empty printline methods, and let's see what this looks like. And there you go. The only thing that I would want to do is get rid of some of this white space off to the left. I can do this by deleting some space off here from my diamond shape inside of my string literal. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. As you can see, it went ahead and just removed the extra white space to the left. So let's see what this looks like. And there's the output of my diamond.